to the paperwork. The paperwork is dirty, man. The paperwork is dirty when it comes to this FDMG school. He's out here saying he was at this event in 2013 collecting money for the school that he says is going to be open in 2015. The paperwork is all dirty, man. What's going on, Umar Johnson? Can you answer any of these questions? Every time he goes live, he's over there pretty much sitting on some doorsteps or some footsteps of the FDMG school, and nothing's being accomplished. But he says that he works there 60 hours a week. What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Now, I actually want to go over this because I just saw a video from Lennon Arner, and actually it kind of brings the whole thing together where we have been saying for a long time that Umar Johnson has been running this long con for a long time. And the video is of Umar Johnson back in 2013 collecting money for the school scam. Now, he said he didn't start collecting money until, what, 2015 or 2016, something like that. But it actually reinforces the idea that this guy, he's been just scamming, lying, and, you know, just pandering to an audience while not being held accountable for his actions. Now, I'm going to start over here right quick, just for us to get into some details about this. Now, if you guys don't use any platform when you're looking at these nonprofits, I highly recommend GuideStar, because I'm using GuideStar right here to make this video, and it gives you pretty much a background of these nonprofit organizations. So when I look up a nonprofit organization, I'm not getting paid for this, but I use GuideStar. You can get a free account. Of course, you don't have to pay for anything. I think there's an upgrade. If you want that upgrade, it's up to you. Now, when you look at this FDMG school scam, principal officer Umar Johnson, subject area, elementary and secondary education, which is absolutely not true. Population served, students, low-income people, children, youth. So there's no children, youth. There's no students. Low-income people, I guess he's the only one there, whatever. You get the EIN number, of course, in the ruling year, which is 2020 when he got his tax exemption. Now, I brought up two forms, and as you can see right here, it's only 3 available, the 2023, 2022, 2021. 2024 is still not available. However, I brought up these because it actually it gave me an overview of what the ruling body of the FDMG scam is, and you can go through a lot of sections, but I'm only going to cover one section, and this section is in the 2021 form and the 2023 form, because I'm going to skip over 2022 because I don't think that's important to the information I'm trying to present right now. Now, as we get over here to the 2021, so actually, let me go up here. Let me make this bigger. Get over to 2021, and I want you guys to look at this. Just this didn't make any sense to me, and it kind of like he got it right on one, then he switched it up and he messed it up. Now you go to the summary up here, and it says right here, it says on the number 3 spot, it says the number of voting members of the governing body in 2021. This 2021 form, he has 1. Number of independent voting members, 0.4, 1. Now, when you go to the governing body down here, and this is going to be governing body. Hold on. Sorry about that. Pass it up. No, here we go. Governing body and management of the FDMG school scam. You go down here and you can say, he says he has all these people working for him. But when it says enter the number of voting members of the governing body at the end of this tax year, 2021, he has 1. When it says right here, and 1B, enter the number of voting members included in line 1A. Okay, you have 1. And if you keep going down here, he answered no for all these. And it says the governing. Okay, so the question asks, did the organization document the meetings held or written actions undertaken during the following year? He pushed yes, but I'm like, you can't have a meeting with just one person. Like, so I don't understand. I guess you can have a meeting if you're talking to yourself, whatever. Each committee with authority to act on behalf of the governing body, yes. So this is actually kind of contradictory to what he's been saying. When he says he has a lot of people working for him, that he has a body of people working with him. Now, if you get over here to 2023, it's actually worse, because remember, in this one, he has governing body under Section A, governing body and management. He has 1 enter under 1A and 1B. Now, if you go over here to 2023, now, as we go over here to 2023, make this a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, 2023. Now, I want you guys to look at this. He completely flips. Now, it says number of voting members on the governing body, 0. Number of independent voting, 0. And this is in the part 1, the summary. Now, if you go down to the governing body and management section again, remember, he had 1 in 2021, which I think is just himself. Now, I think he forgot that he had to count himself when you're saying the governing body, because you're technically the only person that works for the organization, the nonprofit. Your solo dolo. So if you go over here to, hold up, where is it at? Did I skip it? We're not going over all this other information. This is not important to what I'm saying right now. Oh, here you go. So once you go over here, where it says the governing body and management, enter the number of voting members of the governing body at the end of the tax year. This is 2023. So the other one was 2021. This is 2023. He had 0 and 0. But then under, did the organization document the meetings held or written actions undertaken during the year of the following? How are you going to hold a meeting when you have 0 voting members? But he puts yes. Each committee with authorities to act on behalf of the governing body. Yes. But there is no governing body according to this 2023 tax form. I just want to cover that. I'm going to look some more of this tax form that's going on. But I just want to cover that. And now let's get into this Lennon Arner video. Since he started collecting money in 2010, there has been no governing body all the way up to 2025. In fact, on his 2023 tax form, he put there's nobody. There's nobody, including himself. So he's not even a governing person on the committee. But they're holding meetings somehow, which is weird.
To Makeda Dread. Okay,
let's listen to what Lennon Arner had to say about this, because I think this is actually a real good segment by Lennon Arner. Let me see where I'm going to start at.
Application key point: there is no documentation that's in order. In fact, Umar's quote unquote school, which is called the FDMG RBG Leadership Academy, is not registered with the Delaware Board of Education. So it's a figment of the imagination. It's not tangible or real on paperwork or otherwise. Okay, he has these abandoned buildings, but those aren't schools. Okay? This will probably be covered inside the documentary too. But I'm looking for specifically Umar registering this, and that it's an actual entity. And please do not get this confused with Umar registering FDMG RBG Leadership Academy with the IRS for tax exempt status. Okay, the IRS, that's federal. We're talking about state. The IRS, that's specifically dealing with taxes. Okay, and really so that Umar doesn't have to pay tax on the money that he collects. And when we talk about the school being registered as an entity with the state of Delaware, okay, that's the state. That's something totally separate. And that is what Umar would have to do in order to actually open up a school. In fact, I would think that even to put in a certificate of occupancy, you would have to be registered. See, that's what I'm saying. Umar doesn't have the paperwork in order on the front end. And even if he opens up the school, he won't have the paperwork on the back end because he's going to be having teachers come in who are not certified. They don't even necessarily have to have degrees. I'm going to prove that in just a moment. Okay. All right. So here we go. I'm going to pull up a receipt. We're going to go to 2013. September 14th of 2013, this was Umar in San Diego, my hometown, at the World Beach Center. Shout out to Makeda Drake. Let's get into it. So here's the first receipt right here from 2013. Okay, let me know if you guys can hear the audio on this. Here we go.
Nations. CIA killing black folks.
What's going on, bro?
Go ahead, bro.
Lamont down.
That's wild.
Quick question. As far as the school is concerned, when is this? I know you said around 2015 is when everything was supposed to get into action, but
the school's supposed to open in 2015. This video is from 2013. Y'all hear that? Can y'all hear this? Let me know.
As far as I know,
yeah, that was crazy. Drea said Umar's next documentary, Hidden Donations. Boy, that's wild.
we're pushing certain skills, mechanics, things like that, so the brothers and sisters can work for themselves. But for those who are potentially going to get into higher education, they can get those certifications to be doctors and all these other things. Is the school going to be, or are they going to allow or take the certificate? Is it going to be certified or take it accredited? Really, is what I'm going to say.
So he's saying certified, but he means to say accredited. All right, this is way back in 2013. Listen to what Umar says.
Those accreditations from to major universities and things like that.
Well, you're accredited by virtue of the state that you operate.
See, he's saying that it's the state, they let you operate. See, Umar's not even registered with the state. And I should be more specific. The entity that Umar calls FDMG RBG Leadership Academy, it does not exist on paper with the state. You guys see this? Hit the one. Okay, there's more. It'll unravel as we continue. Watch it.
That's an accreditation there. You can go and get extras. I'm not really into that because I don't really feel I need the approval of white people to tell me I'm doing what I'm doing right. So I probably.
You see how he's conflicted here? He's saying that the state is it's what gives you accreditation, but he's also stated that he's not interested in getting accreditation, right? But then he says that there's other stuff, but I'm not interested in that. So which one is it? You see?
Okay, so that's actually enough right there. I'm actually gonna link this in the description. You can watch the whole video. Lyndon Arnold has some long videos. They're like 3 hours, 4 hours long. Sometimes I can't catch all of it. You know, I can try to catch like an hour, maybe 2 hours. However, he has gems in his videos. He has real gems. You know, like digging through some dirt in Africa, man. You find some diamonds over there. He has some real gems in his video, which actually exposes even more the scamming behavior of Umar Johnson. This video is from 2013. He said he was gonna have a school open in 2015. We're in 2025. What is Umar Johnson doing with no governing body, with nobody voting? He says he's holding meetings with no members actually attending the meetings because there's no members to be attending. And you have this footage right here from 2013. Now, this is I don't blame any of the people that's in the audience because I actually enjoyed seeing people wanting to get a further education or learning oneself or something like that. However, it's when they fall into the scams of people, of these false leaders like, you know, Jay Morrison, Umar Johnson. There's this guy, he's like 4 feet, 4 feet, well, he's 4'4". Anton Daniels going around having his little Sunday money school, whatever, just another scam artist that's on YouTube. Who's another guy who I don't like. Don't like him for many reasons, mostly because he's full of it. But these all three of these guys fall into the same category of scammers, like unfulfilled promises, and you know, and just I mean, I can't even find the words right now. I mean, it's early in the morning right over here, you know, so I really can't find the words. But you guys have to check out this Lyndon Arnold video. I know 4 hours is a long is a long time, almost 5 hours. So I actually want to like take this clip out, put it out there, show you the documentation when it came to the paperwork. The paperwork is dirty, man. The paperwork is dirty when it comes to this FDMG school. He's out here saying he was at this event in 2013 collecting money for the school that he says is going to be open in 2015. The paperwork is all dirty, man. What's going on, Umar Johnson? Can you answer any of these questions? Every time he goes live, he's over there pretty much sitting on some doorsteps or some footsteps of the FDMG school, and nothing's being accomplished. But he says that he works there 60 hours a week. That's the conclusion of this video, man. Thanks for watching. And check out the descriptions. Go over there, check out Lyndon Arnold. You know, subscribe to Guy Star. It's absolutely free. You can actually see some of the paperwork of nonprofit organization you guys want to look up. Maybe there'll be some in the future that you guys want to get the documentation on, who's running it, what it's about. You know, is the paperwork dirty? You got to pay attention to this stuff. Thanks for watching.